Welcome to a special edition from the corner of the internet where candor meets stardom, Turkish series stars. In the labyrinth of performance, there's a fragile, invisible scene that holds the artist's private self apart from the persona that dazzles on screen. But what happens when that scene frays under hot lights and the relentless gaze of an audience that never blinks? Today, we're walking straight into the epicenter of a tremor that rattled not just the set of the series Arafta, but the foundation of a very public romance. What should have been a lyrical kiss, carefully crafted and technically pristine, has mutated into the detonator of an emotional landslide, thrusting the relationship between Alp Navruz and Alina into a crisis no one saw coming. We are not here to retell a petty spat behind the scenes. We are here to chart the anatomy of a rupture that the entire industry is whispering about. Before we unspool the threads of Alp's fury, Alina's graceful poise, and the murmurs leaking from locked dressing rooms in Istanbul, a quick invitation: if you appreciate fearless, detail-rich storytelling, subscribe to Turkish series stars. Tap the bell so you never miss what others are afraid to say. And if you want to champion this independent voice and unlock exclusive deep dives into what unfolds when the cameras sleep, hit the join button now. Your support as members keeps this investigation alive. Settle in, because the real drama is just beginning. The producers of Arafta knew from the start that the kiss between Alp Navruz and Alina would be the season's emotional apex. It was plotted with surgical precision, rehearsed in a work-first environment, and filmed with an intensity that crew members still talk about in hushed tones. Those present say both stars surrendered to their characters until fiction and breath seemed to share the same lung. One lighting technician confided later that the spark felt so honest, it scared me. Then the spell snapped the moment the director called cut. Instead of playful banter or the soft exhale after a complicated take, the room filled with dense quiet, as if the air itself were bracing for thunder. Alp Navruz, usually the emblem of composed charm and deliberate restraint, couldn't mask the tremor the scene left behind. The earliest set leaks describe him in a heated exchange with the directing team just after the cameras went dark. His face didn't carry the glow of a job well done. It carried the strain of a man who felt suddenly bare, caught off guard, and, though only he knows why, achingly upset. Alp's anger didn't dissipate like steam, it roared into a blaze, fed by what came next. As soon as the scene aired, social platforms erupted into a gladiator pit of takes. Many praised the chemistry for its sincerity and heat, while others, moved by the familiar appetite of online intrigue, began to tether the moment to Alp's off-screen reality. In their version of events, what the world saw wasn't acting, it was a confession. That chatter, we're told, was the breaking point. Insiders close to Alp revealed to Turkish series stars that he spiraled into sleepless nights, combing through comments, theories, and freeze-framed analyses of his expressions. He felt his craft being scavenged by speculation, his professionalism recast as proof of something private. Tired of watching a career he built through rigor and patience be reduced to a rumor mill trophy, he snapped. The sudden retreat into his dressing room. The long hours without addressing anyone. The rapid-fire blocking of accounts. All of it reads like the paper trail of a man trying to pry his narrative back from a crowd that wouldn't let go. Is Alp's anger the shield of an artist protecting his work, or is it the reflex of someone terrified that a very real heart was caught red-handed by the lens? Take a breath, Turkish series stars family. Beneath the tailored suits and magazine smiles, there are people struggling to steer their own storms. Here's our question to you: does an actor have the right to rage when the public interprets art as confession, or is that the toll of living in the spotlight? Do you read Alp's response as a professional's boundary, or as a sign that deeper feelings were exposed? Drop your theories in the comments. Your insights power this channel. And if this level of analysis matters to you, give this video a like. To stand with our independent reporting and access what most never hear, click join. Your membership is the key to the unfiltered reality of Istanbul. Now, what about the woman at the eye of the storm? While Alp was pulled into a vortex of indignation, Alina stood almost statuesque. Some call it ice. We call it strategy. Her single official comment landed like a scalpel: "We're doing our work. The rest belongs to the audience." Polished, minimal, and razor-sharp, it was the doorstop she tried to wedge into an entryway that Alp's reaction had flung wide open. But even polished steel shows hairline fractures. Friends whisper that Alina is not unfazed, she's frustrated. Not by Alp's discomfort, but by the way it has magnified curiosity and kept the scandal breathing. There's talk that she believes his outburst transformed an artistic beat into a tabloid referendum. Alina, who has carefully crafted the image of a modern, autonomous woman, now finds herself orbiting the gravity of a man wrestling with the echo of his own brilliance. Is Alina's cool an armor of disengagement, or the only shield left to safeguard a shrinking private life? The immediate, visible outcome of this fateful kiss has been the space opening up between them. Observers across Istanbul noticed the sudden absence: no shared photos, no playful tags and stories, no public coffee runs that once seemed casual but intentional. Silence itself became a statement. From the Arafta set, we heard of air so tense it could split a scene in two. Those present describe a courteous frost between the leads, a professional distance measured in meters even when the script demanded inches. Alp, sealed in quiet and guarded in gesture. Alina, smiling with impeccable manners that somehow placed oceans between them. The rumor of a serious rift, if not an outright separation, gathers heft with every day they are not seen together. In this world, no news often means the news hurts too much to speak aloud. Beneath the surface, this conflict scrapes at a raw nerve in the business: the erosion of the human inside the star. Alp's fury isn't only pointed at commenters or colleagues, it's a response to a machine that swallows artistry and churns out assumptions. For him, the kiss was a calibrated offering to truth in storytelling. To watch it flattened into a headline that shouts real-life romance feels like an insult to the discipline he's cultivated. Alina, meanwhile, appears to have made a different kind of peace with the unspoken rules of celebrity. She seems to recognize that viewers will always hunt for a heartbeat behind the character, and that some tides are better navigated than resisted. Perhaps that difference, his quest for purity of art, her steady-eyed survivorship, sits at the core of their distance. Two philosophies colliding over a single staged moment of love. Before we close in on what this means going forward, a thank you for making Turkish series stars the home of nuanced, unflinching celebrity analysis. If you haven't joined our members-only circle, you're missing the off-the-record insights we reserve for our closest community. Click join to support independent storytelling and help us keep pulling back the curtain without fear. Your membership is what lets this voice remain free. Join today. And now, the questions that refuse to quiet down. That kiss in Arafta didn't simply elevate a plot, it turned two lives upside down. What could have been gilded as a professional triumph has become a firewalk for temperament, trust, and identity. Can Alp release his indignation and find a way to coexist with an audience that reads between every line? Can Alina continue to temper the storm and stand beside a partner who feels ambushed by his own success? Only time, and the diligence of the Turkish series stars team, will bring clarity. Istanbul has seen 1,000 love stories, but few with a gaze this steady upon them. For now, the city waits, and so do we. If this video has made you rethink how fragile victory can be when fame is the stage, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And once more, your join clicks keep Turkish series stars burning bright. Until next time, we'll be here, where the curtain lifts and the truth remembers its name and surname. But the aftershocks did not end with debates in comment sections and long nights behind a locked dressing room door. In the days that followed, the production tightened protocols, closed sets for intimate scenes, a trimmed list of visitors, stricter confidentiality reminders. Even then, nothing could be tightened around the public imagination. Fans replayed the scene frame by frame. Did Alp's hand linger? Did Alina lean in a fraction closer than the blocking called for? We've all seen it. Those forensic threads where desire and performance are teased apart with the rigor of a lab. Alp reportedly asked for space between takes in subsequent episodes, a request the director granted without comment. Crew members tell us that sound checks felt like library hours. Every laugh was muted, every whisper echoed. Alina's presence was measured and disciplined, as though she refused to let a single extra atom of speculation attach itself to her. And yet, in private, we're told she asked a question that haunts many women in the spotlight: how much of my serenity will be misread as indifference? That's the bind. If she comforts, it's proof. If she steps back, she's cold. If she says nothing, she's hiding. It's an impossible geometry, and still, she kept it elegant. The director, whose job it is to shepherd illusion into truth, faced a choice: lean into the phenomenon, or pull back. The call, for now, is restraint. No promos centered on the kiss, no sly teasers feeding what won't stop feeding itself. That restraint mirrors what Alp wants the world to remember: craft above gossip, even as every headline begs for the opposite. There's irony here. The very chemistry that made two characters credible is what now asks two real people to answer for desire they never publicly claimed. Alina knows the script by heart. The industry writes with one hand and erases with the other. She's seen careers swell and shrink by the temperature of a rumor. She has worked hard to tether her name to the work, to the roles, to the labor of showing up prepared. To watch that tether fray because a scene was too good is a bitter pill, but she swallows it with a straight spine. Meanwhile, Alp's friends say he is wrestling not merely with judgment, but with a question about boundaries. What does it mean to draw the line without punishing the very audience that made him a star? Can he teach the public to separate the artist from the myth, or is that a lesson no one wants to learn? He's said to be reading old interviews, revisiting conversations where he spoke about method and morality, trying to align the man he aims to be with the man the world thinks it has discovered. The pair's once frequent small gestures, those easy, unannounced walks into cafes known for good light and better coffee, have paused. Some will say that's careful crisis management. Others will say it's hurt. The truth might be simpler: it's a breath. A moment to let adrenaline drain so they can talk without the static of 1,000 opinions buzzing in their ears. On set, the team is adapting. Scheduling is smart, coverage is neat, and the edit room hums with an almost monkish focus. They want the show to shine without amplifying the storm, a delicate threading of needle through silk. And in the quiet, a realization lands. The price of excellence is steep when the object of the audience's affection is the same pair who must stand before it again tomorrow. We return to the beginning, to that scene that separates person from performance. It's never been fixed, it's always a moving line, redrawn by context and courage. If Alp finds his balance, it will be because he chooses to value the part of himself that belongs only to him, not to applause. If Alina holds the center, it will be because she trusts the long view, the part where work outlasts scandal. And if they find each other on the other side, it will be because both learned the same lesson in different dialects: that intimacy, in art or life, is strongest when it does not beg to be believed. Thank you for staying with Turkish series stars through every turn of this story. We will keep listening, keep asking, and keep bringing you what matters beyond the noise. If you felt the tremor of this tale and want more of the truth told plainly, subscribe, share, and consider joining our members' circle. Your belief in this work lets us pursue what others prefer to polish away. We'll be back soon, as the city watches two titans of the screen wrestle with the aftermath of a single, indelible kiss.